Do you ever find yourself scrolling endlessly, unable to stop? Or maybe you know someone who can't resist one more bet, one more purchase. You might think of addiction as just being about drugs or alcohol, but what if I told you that addiction wears many masks, and some of them are hiding in plain sight, in our everyday habits? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see addiction in a completely new light, and you might just recognize a pattern you never noticed before. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that affects millions, often silently: addiction. But we're going beyond the stereotypes. We're unmasking its many faces, especially those that don't come in a bottle or a pill. These are called behavioral addictions, and they can be just as powerful and destructive as substance addictions. So, what's the real difference? Substance addictions involve a chemical dependency on a substance, like nicotine, alcohol, or opioids. Your body literally starts to need the substance to function. Behavioral addictions, on the other hand, are about an irresistible compulsion to perform a certain behavior. Think about the intense rush a gambler feels, or the validation someone gets from social media likes. The brain's reward system gets hijacked in a very similar way. Let's break it down. When you do something enjoyable, your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. It's the feel-good chemical. With both substance and behavioral addictions, this system goes into overdrive. The brain starts to crave that dopamine rush, not from the activity itself, but from the anticipation of it. For a gambler, it's not just about winning, it's the thrill of placing the bet. For a social media user, it's the excitement of posting and waiting for notifications to pop up. This creates a powerful cycle. The initial high fades, leaving you feeling empty or anxious, so you crave the behavior again to feel good. Over time, you build a tolerance. You need to gamble more, shop more, or scroll more to get the same level of satisfaction. This is the same tolerance-building process we see in substance use. The behavior stops being a choice and starts feeling like a necessity. You might try to stop but find you can't. You might lie about it, hide it from loved ones, and continue despite negative consequences, like financial trouble or damaged relationships. Sound familiar? That's the cycle of addiction. Now, let's talk about some of these hidden addictions. We've mentioned gambling, which is one of the most well-known, but what about shopping addiction? The constant pursuit of the next purchase, often leading to debt and clutter, is a real struggle for many. Then there's workaholism. We often praise people for being hard workers, but when work becomes an escape from emotions and personal life, to the point where it damages your health and relationships, it's crossed a line. And of course, the one that affects nearly all of us: technology. Internet and social media addiction is a growing concern. The endless scroll, the fear of missing out, the curated perfection we see online, it's designed to keep us hooked. Video game addiction is another one, where the immersive worlds and reward systems can become more compelling than real life for some individuals. Even something that seems healthy, like exercise, can become an addiction when it's taken to an extreme, causing injury and social isolation. The key takeaway here is that addiction isn't a moral failing or a lack of willpower. It's a complex condition that rewires the brain. It's about the compulsive pursuit of a reward, whether that reward is a chemical substance or the feeling you get from a behavior. And because behavioral addictions are often tied to socially acceptable activities, they can be incredibly difficult to spot, both in ourselves and in others. We dismiss it as just a hobby, a bad habit, or a personality quirk. But for the person trapped in the cycle, the struggle is real and the consequences are severe. So, what can we do? The first step is awareness. Understanding that addiction can look like this is crucial. It helps us have more empathy for those who are struggling and allows us to be more honest with ourselves about our own habits. Recovery is absolutely possible, but it starts with acknowledging the problem. Professional help is key. Therapy, like cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT, can be incredibly effective. It helps people identify their triggers, manage cravings, and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Support groups are also a lifeline, connecting people with others who understand what they're going through. It breaks the isolation that so often fuels addiction. If you recognize some of these patterns in yourself or someone you care about, please know you are not alone. It takes immense courage to face this, and seeking help is a sign of incredible strength, not weakness. There are resources available, and we'll link some in the description below. Never hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional, a helpline, or a trusted friend or family member. The world of addiction is far more complex than we often assume. It's not just what you're addicted to, but why. It's the cycle, the compulsion, and the hidden pain that truly define it. So now I want to ask you, after hearing all this, which everyday behavior do you think is the most addictive, and why? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what you think. Thank you so much for watching and for opening your mind to this important conversation. If this video helped you see things differently, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the human mind. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.